So the issue here is whether or not to keep celebrating Columbus Day. For my thesis would be Columbus Day isn't celebrating Christopher Columbus, but rather recognizing his achievements and making knowledge of the Americans known and what he brought to the New World. According to the dictionary, Columbus Day is celebrated as a legal holiday commemorating the discovery of the New World by Christopher Columbus in 1942. In addition, if we were to take this holiday away, it would be wrong to take it away from the Americans of the Italian heritage. Many people argue that he is an immoral man, but he was a gateway for the finding of America. Columbus allowed for diversity to come into America. He made the New World known to Europe, which eventually provided the opportunity for millions of people to come here for a better life. For example, some countries, England, France, Holland, Sweden, and Denmark, and then so on. As the centuries went on, the U.S. still provides a very culturally diverse country. Even though Christopher Columbus brought African Americans for slave work, he introduced them to the New World, which allowed for them to reproduce in this newfound land and increase that diversity of just not having whites. However, Columbus did not introduce slavery to the Americas. Slave trading was a major part of the Utah Native American tribes, according to the Colorado historian Virginia McConnell Simmons in her book, The Ute Indians of Utah, Colorado, and New Mexico. Columbus transported about 5,000 African Americans over the Atlantic Ocean, which again allowed for faster production. And then to blame Columbus for any of the malicious events, though, is to exonerate the policies, groups, and individuals who practiced slavery and committed heinous crimes against humanity, including the French, English, U.S., Spanish governments, Thomas Jefferson and other founding fathers, the Confederate States of America, the Ku Klux Klan, the United military officer who massacred Native Americans at places like Sand Creek. Place blame on those who deserve it, not on Christopher Columbus. Christopher Columbus was pretty much just following orders from the Spanish government. Christopher Columbus also introduced new things to the Western Hemisphere, the Columbian Exchange mainly. Christopher Columbus brought new crops with him. He introduced citrus fruit, grapes, bananas, sugar canes, onions, olives, turnips, coffee beans, peaches, and pears, and grains. The white potato from the New World also helped the Irish with increase their economy. Columbus also introduced new animals to the world. He brought with him cattle, sheep, horses, and pigs. One of the main ones was horses, which allowed for faster transportation. They were used while hunting, so they provided easier way to hunt animals in large herds. And then they were also used for farming purposes. In addition, he also contributed in modernizing and industrializing the New World by introducing new technology. He introduced the Native Americans with a written alphabet, and this allowed for them to integrating cultures. Also, new farming capabilities. The equipment, they improved the health of the Native Americans to live on a long-term basis. Also, new firearm and weapon capabilities, such as guns and knives. The European knives were made of steel and iron, which allowed for multiple usage, unlike the Native Americans, which was pretty much like a one-use. Guns allowed for greater damage from a further distance than bows. It killed animals faster, pretty much. The European agriculture immediately helped build new homes, ranches, farms, ports, and ships in the New World, which led to the first colonial and native towns. Also, the first government buildings in the New World. Natives created villages, giving evidence of them moving away from hunter-gatherer society. Conclusion. Christopher Columbus might have not been the first one to discover America, but he opened the gate to modernize America. So in the end, this argument over whether or not Christopher Columbus is worthy of a holiday, since the U.S. is the only nation that celebrates Columbus Day, I assume the argument was over whether they should celebrate it. Since the U.S. has also done many heinous acts to Native Americans, trails of tears, stealing of land, holding them as slaves are just a couple. We can assume that the U.S. and Christopher have a similar philosophy towards the treatment of Native Americans. Due to this, Christopher's treatment of the Indians may have be viewed by the U.S. as bad, or at least not as bad enough to denounce him, or else they wouldn't celebrate him.
Is that it?
Yeah.